I'm Ryan Pollard from the University of Rochester Summer Scholars Program, and we are here in Dr. House Biomedical Engineering, and we will begin to show you a lab.
I'm Shelby.
I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
I'm Lindsay.
So the lab that we are doing is a blood pressure lab. So first we are going to calculate the manual blood pressure of Mike right here. So first she's going to attach the blood pressure cup, aligning the artery patch on the cup with the artery on it. Now, Lindsay is going to take the stethoscope. So Lindsay is going to take the stethoscope, and she is going to listen in on his heartbeat while in the cup. So, as she starts pumping the air, it's going to start restricting or constricting the blood flow in his arm. And as soon as she starts hearing his heartbeat, it's going to be the systolic blood pressure. And as soon as she stops hearing the heartbeat, it will be the diastolic pressure.
And what was his blood pressure? 120 over 70. Hey, 120 over 70.
And so now we are going to do the digital recording of blood pressure. So we have on the computer there various series of graphs, and we're going to record his blood pressure.
Oops. Shoot. Very. Okay. You ready?
Oh yeah. Okay, so again she will begin to pump air into the cup, constricting the blood flow. And as you can see, it's beginning to drop down, and you can see the various beats. So now we have a graph there, and we have the systolic, which is going to be the very top of the graph, and the diastolic pressure, which is going to be where those jagged lines end up ending. And you calculate it, and
We're in the Dr. House Biomedical Engineering Program at University of Rochester with the Summer Scholars. This is Sam, I'm Jamie, this is Liz, Caitlin, and Jay.
First we're going to talk about the blood flow and the anatomy of the heart. The blood flows into the superior vena cava and into the right atrium. This is unoxygenated blood that passes through the tricuspid valve and into the right ventricle. The blood then passes through the pulmonary artery into the lungs, where it gets oxygenated and then re-enters the left atrium. The new blood then goes into the left ventricle, where it is pumped through the aorta to the rest of the body.
Heart rate is how fast blood is moving through the heart and through the body. It is considered a vital sign and indicates stress or excitement, and it can also be an indicator of disease.
When you exercise, your heart rate and blood pressure increases because the heart needs to work faster to get oxygen to the rest of your body.
There are two divisions in the nervous system. One is the parasympathetic and the other is the sympathetic. Parasympathetic is just your everyday calm, normal responses, and sympathetic is your fight or flight responses to stimuli.
Alright, and sympathetic responses are activated when you're either scared or you're coughing, and that raises your blood pressure, and it also loosens your muscles and dilates your eyes so that you can bring in more air and move more loosely. And parasympathetic responses is when you're in a sympathetic mode and then you need to be brought down back to normal, or when you're just every day sitting down and doing daily.
I'm Molly Harrison.
And I'm Alexis Bell.
And we're from the Dr. House Biomedical Engineering Program at University of Rochester. We are doing the EKG lab, which stands for electrocardiogram. This lab shows the electrical activity of the heart. We will be placing 3 electrode tabs, one on the right, one on the left, and then a neutral on the bone. Then we will be placing the red positive on the left, the green negative, and then the neutral black.
Okay, and then when we zoom it in, you can see the individual waves. And it goes P, Q, R, S, T, and U, and then it restarts and just keeps going.
So what these waves are, the P wave is when the atrium contracts, the QRS is when the ventricle contracts, the T wave is when the ventricle relaxes, and the U wave is when the heart takes in blood again. This data is important for cardiologists to be able to analyze different heart conditions, which is very important.
Alright, so this is Nick, Paul, David, and the Dr. House Biomedical Engineering thing at University of Rochester Summer School program. And I'm here to talk to you about introducing of EMG. And EMG stands for electromyogram. It is a graphical recording of electrical activity within muscles. Davin's hooked up to the EKG sensor, which is electrical cardiogram. I believe it's. So what this does is it records his muscle clenching and it shows very clench. And you can see the peaks here when he clenches. And what we do is we recorded this on many tables to see what his regular clenching thing is. And then what we did was we ate different certain candies for different textures and see how if the maximum force and minimum force changed during eating different textures. So what we did first was we ate gummy worm, and which would be the softest texture within the three candies. And the data we recorded showed the lowest force of chewing. And then we ate caramel, and we got a larger amount of force when he was chewing. And then we ate a Jolly Rancher, which was quite painful because you have to chew down on it and and that had the most force of muscle clenching.
Hi, we are from the How to Be Dr. House at his own game class at Rochester University. Today we will be explaining 2 out of the many labs we have done throughout the week. The name of our lab is Grip Strength Comparison. In our group we have Talosa, Greg, myself, Peter, and Bruce. The materials needed for this lab is a computer and the software and the grip force sensor. What we are going to do is measure how much strength a person has in their grip. Along with this, the person pinching too. We will measure the person pinching too. When we measure the pinching, the person will pinch with their thumb and test out all their other fingers. For the hand grip, we will test out the dominant and non-dominant hand, and for the pinching, we will only do dominant. Our subject today is Bruce. Bruce is our subject because he is strong and works out, and pretty much lives in the gym. Out of our whole class, he has gotten the highest, which will be shown when we demonstrate our lab. So now we will show you the grip force.
Alright, so I guess dominant hand first, just showing, and then, so that's in newtons, the force,
And then non-dominant.
and then non-dominant, a little lower, because
And then pinching.
so pinching, index finger, index finger and thumb, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. And so we figured that the closer the fingers to the thumb, there's less distance, and so you can apply more force.
If you want to change it up, you can have the person not look at the screen or cheer them on. Along with this lab we just did, we're going to demonstrate the second lab, which is called muscle fatigue, where we will cheer on Bruce and then have him not look at the screen. Once you are done, you will see that there's a difference between the data. So we're going to cheer him on right now.
Go.
Bruce, come on, do it. Oh, come on. Come on. That's how you guys are pretty bad at cheering.
And then now he's not going to look at the screen, so turn around. Okay, and then if you look at the computer screen, you'll be able to see the difference.
No, it's gone. It's gone.
Oh.
Okay. Overall, we learned that height does not matter for the pinching and hand grip, and the finger closer to the thumb is stronger, and also that depending on how strong the person is, it will show. And for our second lab, we learned that when they look at the screen, you tend to do better because you are competing with yourself, and when you cheer, it depends on the person's self-confidence and how they respond to the noise. When you don't look at the screen, you don't tend to get a high score because you don't really know what's going on.